And in here, we have a big loading platform so as we can drive the truck right in through the front door and pick up the stuff whenever it's ready.
How much is all this going to cost us, Barney? The kind of plans you're making, it'll take us a year to get our dough back.
I'll worry about the dough, Steve. Well, with a setup like this, we ought to be able to turn out 5,000 gallons a week.
And where do we sell it? Look, this ain't like Prohibition days, Barney. You can't dump 5,000 gallons of booze on the market every week if you ain't got any place to sell it.
You trying to tell me what we got and what we ain't got? It's gonna be a gold mine, I tell you. We'll sell that bootleg to every speakeasy in town. And there's one on practically every corner.
Speakeasy? You're a little mixed up, ain't you, Barney?
Huh?
You're still thinking of the old Prohibition days. There ain't any speakeasies anymore.
Well, you know what I mean. Bars, saloons, taverns. It's just that, well, I still think of them as speakeasies. What are you looking at? Can a guy use the wrong word if he wants to? Everything I say these days, you pick me up like I'm losing my grip or something. You just see that the still gets built. And quit arguing. I don't want to hear no more about it. Frankie, get my car. I'm going home.
Barney Hoff was one of the few remaining Prohibition racketeers to survive that lawless era and maintain an organization long after many of his gangster contemporaries had gone out of business. His decision to manufacture illegal liquor again in relatively recent times was not a wise one, since it brought his organization into conflict with federal as well as state law. And now, in my role as Chief Enforcement Officer of the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax Division, Internal Revenue Service, I'd like to tell you what happened in the private battle Hoff waged with the Treasury Department. A battle in which we had an unexpected ally, Hoff himself. This is Treasury File 5658, Alcohol and Tobacco Tax Division. The case of the fatal error.
Mama Roma's place? Oh, no, he still haven't shown up, Larry.
Tell Barney the boys have been looking for him, Mama. Yeah, and be sure to get in touch with us. We were supposed to have a meeting here at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
All right, all right. Mama Roma, tell him. See.
Veal, Mama Roma. Veal scallopini, the way I like it. A great big dishful. I'm starved.
Barney. Where have you been, Barney? The boys are looking for you. All day they call me up.
Want to forget that there are any boys.
But Larry say you have a meeting with them before 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock? That's tomorrow.
No, it's today, Barney. They say it is for today.
3 o'clock, meeting. Maybe it was today.
You feel all right, Barney?
I feel fine. Yeah. I had a fine day today, Mama. Feeding the birds all day long. Peanuts, bread. I even give them some cake. Do you ever feed the pigeons, Mama? Stupid little dopes. That's all they know. Eat, eat, eat.
The boys are waiting for you.
Well, let them wait. I made those boys, all of them. And I can break them, too. One word from me and Lefty'll mow them all down.
Lefty's dead, Barney. Lefty been dead for 11 years. Oh, you need a rest, Barney. You ain't like yourself anymore. I know you for a long time.
It's because I'm tired. Just tired, that's all. Because I'm hungry. You get me my dinner, eh, Mama? Like I ordered, spaghetti and meat sauce, huh?
I tell you, he's sick. Sick in the head. Half the time, you don't know if it's now or 20 years ago.
Take it easy, Steve. It's not that bad. Yeah, he's just getting a little older, that's all.
Oh, older my eye. These last 2 years, he's running this outfit like a real blubberhead. First, it was that big casino that folded. Then it was the bookie set up. Now it's this still. I told you we couldn't sell enough of this booze to make a big operation like this work.
Okay. Look, the still's all paid for. We're turning out 4,400 gallons a week. It's too late now to do anything about it.
Oh, no, it ain't too late to do anything about it. I tell you, we gotta get Barney to pull out of this setup, even if we have to talk up to him.
Talk up to who? What are you guys doing? Having a little meeting without the boss or something?
Well, it's almost 9 o'clock, Barney. You were supposed to be here this afternoon.
I got tied up. You got any objections? Now, what was it you was gonna talk up to me about, Steve?
The way things are going now, we're losing about $1,200 a week.
Then why don't you do something about it? Why don't you get out and sell some of the booze instead of letting it pile up in the warehouse?
Now, look, I can't sell where there ain't no customers. There's only 20, 25 bars in town that'll handle a bootleg. The rest of them won't go near the stuff.
That's your fault, not mine. You need customers, go on out and get them, like we used to in the old days. They won't buy your stuff, you pour it down their throats. That's the way I used to sell booze, with brass knuckles. Anybody wouldn't take my stuff and wind up in a hospital or in an alley somewhere.
That was a long time ago, Barney. That stuff don't go today.
Who says it won't? You ain't tried it, have you?
No, but...
Start tomorrow, first thing. I want 10 new customers by tomorrow night.
Now, look, Barney, you can't go around beating up a whole town.
I didn't say the whole town. Just pick out a few, work them over, scare them a little, bust up a little furniture. You beat up one guy, 10 other guys fall into line. You beat up 10, you got 100. Well, what's the matter, you yellow?
It won't work, Barney.
Well, make it work. The first thing in the morning, I want you to get out and sell that booze like I told you. Now go on, get out of here, the whole bunch of you.
The next morning, in keeping with Barney Hoff's instructions, Steve Lodi and a pair of newly hired muscle men embarked on a tour of violence which was reminiscent of the old Prohibition days. Tavern keepers, bartenders, and saloon owners in the Detroit area were threatened, beaten, and intimidated into agreeing to buy bootleg liquor which the Hoff gang was offering for sale.
All right, Joe, that's enough. Let's get moving.
Most of the victims were too frightened to oppose these hoodlums or even to seek the aid of law enforcement authorities. However, one bar owner who refused to buy the bootleg liquor was courageous enough to report the matter to the Detroit police, and from them, the information was passed on to us. Quite a report, isn't it, Duncan? A tavern owner being beaten up by gangsters pushing bootleg liquor. Like turning back the clock to the 1920s when rival mobs used to stake out their own territories.
Were there any other barkeepers in the area beaten up by these thugs? Or is this the only complaint?
Well, this is the only one reported. However, the chances are if one man was approached in this manner, there must have been several others. This has all the earmarks of a large-scale operation.
What information do we have from the district office, Chief? Have there been any reports on bootlegging activity increasing in that area?
Not appreciably, no. I just talked with Hayes a few minutes ago. He said they've been aware of a few trouble spots in the district, but nothing like this. So either somebody new has decided to move in with a big supply of this liquor, or else it's being made right there in the vicinity. In any case, I want you to get out to Detroit right away.
Yes, sir.
See if you can get a line on those men who beat up this bar owner. Because if you can get a good description or any other possible identification, it'll save us a lot of valuable time. Otherwise, you'll have to start from scratch.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, Duncan, and let me know what develops. In Detroit, investigator Duncan questioned tavern owner Richard Fraser in an effort to obtain an identifiable description of the men who had assaulted him. When this failed, Fraser was taken to the district office of the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax Division, where he was shown hundreds of pictures of men who had previously been convicted of illicit liquor violations. Among them was a man Fraser thought he recognized. The man's name was Sidney Seibert, a former member of a Philadelphia gang. With the aid of the Detroit police, Sidney Seibert was found and brought in for questioning. He denied any connection whatsoever with the assault on Fraser. And since Fraser could not positively identify him, Seibert was eventually released, but kept under surveillance. And that night, he was seen in the company of a man who was known to be an associate of a well-known Detroit gangster and racketeer, Barney Huff.
So what are you scared about? What do you come running to me for? The first little thing goes wrong, right away you start shaking like a leaf.
It ain't just one little thing, Barney. Anytime they pick up a guy like Seibert and take him downtown, it means they know something. That Treasury guy, he must have some kind of a line on us.
What line? What are you worried about? One stinking little barkeep goes crying to the cops. They won't get nothing out of him.
What about the other guys we beat up? Suppose they start talking.
So we lay low for a while until it blows over.
It ain't gonna blow over that easy, Barney. These Treasury men get on a case, they don't let go.
Yeah, he's right. This whole deal was wrong from the start. Every time you try to fix it up, it just gets worse.
Ah. So now you want to get rid of me. You want to take over the show yourself.
I didn't say that.
But that's what you're thinking. You think I ain't got it anymore. You want to get rid of me. Well, you can't. A couple of guys tried that in the old days and they ain't around no more. You remember who I mean? Who do you call it? And that cousin of his, the redhead? Yeah, the redhead. They got theirs, didn't they? You bet your life they got theirs. You bet your life. You think I'm sick, don't you? You think I got a screw loose up here? Well, let me tell you something. You're the ones that are sick. You, not me.
You better take it easy, Barney. You're all upset.
Let go of me.
Come on, Larry. Let's go.
Stay where you are. You ain't going till I tell you you can go.
Oh, yeah? Now, you listen to me, Barney. I stuck around here all these years because you used to know how to run this show. Now you don't. You don't even know what you're doing anymore. If you think I'm gonna stick around here and let you drag me down, you're off your rock.
Barney! Get him out of here. Get him out of here quick. I don't feel so good. Take care of everything?
Yeah.
No trouble?
No, we dumped the body in the field right on the other side of the river.
The boys say anything?
What did you expect him to say, Barney? For 11 years, he was like your right arm.
I had to do it, Larry. It wasn't my fault. He was trying to shove me out, take over the whole setup.
What whole setup? You don't think we got that much left after the way you've been running things the last couple of years? We ain't got 20 grand left in the kitty.
Oh, we got the still, ain't we? That's worth something, ain't it?
I don't know. After what you've done to Steve, it's gonna make it tough on all of us.
I had to do it, Larry. It was him or me. Don't you see? If I let him shove me around, then I wouldn't be able to handle the boys anymore. You know what it's like when you start to slip. They jump you, all of them, right down to the littlest guy.
See you later, Barney.
I'm sorry, kid, but I had to give it to him. It was him or me. That's right, Larry. It was him or me. Him or me. Him or me.
You're sure, Mr. Fraser? You're quite sure that this is one of the thugs who assaulted you that night and tried to force you to buy liquor from them?
I'm positive, sir. That's why I called you. The minute I saw this picture in the paper, I recognized him.
Well, I certainly thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Fraser. A lead like this can be very helpful.
I hope it is, Mr. Duncan. I hope you get the whole rotten gang.
Well, we're certainly going to try. No, Chief, we haven't made too much headway as yet. But it's beginning to look like the Barney Hoff gang has a big interest in this operation. Steve Lodi was one of Hoff's top men for the past 11 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, has any evidence turned up that Hoff might have gone into bootlegging in recent months? I see. And what about the murder? Have the police implicated Hoff in any way?
No, sir. He's got the usual airtight alibis for himself and all the boys in his outfit. They haven't been able to pin a thing on him. But they're still trying.
All right, Duncan. Keep checking the local taverns for any sign of further violence or bootlegging activity. And if there's any way at all of you finding out why Lodi was murdered, it might be the answer to all of your problems. Right. In an effort to find out the reason for Steve Lodi's murder, several members of Barney Hoff's organization were placed under surveillance. And although no bootlegging activities were revealed, it became evident that Hoff's henchmen were deliberately laying low for a while, temporarily at least, avoiding any contact with taverns which might purchase illegal liquor. This, however, did not prevent them from making an occasional visit to a warehouse in a relatively deserted district of town. A warehouse which appeared to be closed down. Duncan checked the ownership of this warehouse in the county files and learned that only 6 months ago, it had been sold to a man who had handled several past real estate transactions for Barney Hoff. The warehouse was placed under surveillance. Meanwhile, in Mama Roma's place,
Go away, will you, Mama? Go away.
What's the matter, Barney? Don't you like to read the paper anymore?
Enough. I got enough of it all day long. Every 10 minutes they call me down to headquarters. They won't leave me alone.
Why, Barney? Why? You were friends with Steve, no?
Sure we were friends. For 11 years, just like that. I sent him the biggest wreath he had at the funeral.
Then why is dead? Why somebody killed him?
Oh, no. It's a tough racket, Mama. One day you're alive, the next day... Leave me alone, will you?
Why he's dead? A nice guy like Steve. You only know him 11 years. I used to know him since he was a little boy.
Leave me alone, will you, Mama? You're worse than a cop.
Cop don't kill like I do. You kill Steve Lodi, Steve Lodi kill you. To them it's the same thing.
I didn't kill him, I tell you. It was one of the boys, honest. It was one of the boys.
Which one?
Larry and them wanted to take over the bootleg deal. Only Steve wouldn't let them. That was what the argument was about. That's how Steve got it. Right in here. Twice.
Larry? Larry gave it to him?
Yeah. Twice, right in here. Larry. After all I'd done for him. If it was anybody else, I'd have blown his head off. Now I don't care anymore. I don't care about any of the boys. They're no good, Mama. They're just no good. Just no good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mama. What is it? He told you that I was the one who... No kidding. Uh-huh. You bet, Mama. Well, of course I gotta do something about it. The way he is, he's liable to go to the cops. Yeah, thanks, Mama.
Hey, what's up, Larry?
Plenty. Pop's completely blown his stack. He's acting like a stumble bum. He's going around telling everybody the outfit's busted. And he's blaming me for knocking off Steve Lodi.
Holy mackerel.
Frank, get the boys together. We've got to have a meeting right away.
Right.
Reckon we all seen this coming for a long time. Look, he ain't got no mind anymore. He's going around saying the first thing comes into his head. If he blabs to the cops about this place or the way we covered for him the night he knocked off Steve Lodi, we're all in trouble.
So what do we do, Larry?
We get out with what we got. There's almost 12,000 gallons of booze here and 2 good trucks to move it out.
Tonight?
Right now, right this minute. We'll hide it out on Mac's farm and sell it when all this blows up.
And Barney? What do we do about him? If he talks like you say...
He ain't gonna keep talking. We're gonna take care of him, Frank. We're gonna shut his mouth once and for all. Now, Sid, get those trucks out. Get every can of booze out of here. And when it's all gone, I'm gonna bring Barney back here and leave him here for good.
The decision to move the bootleg liquor to another hiding place played right into the hands of our agents, who had been keeping the warehouse under surveillance. The first truck was stopped less than a half mile from where it started. And when the load it carried was examined, both drivers were placed under arrest. The second truck to leave the warehouse was similarly intercepted, and the drivers of that truck, too, were arrested. Meanwhile, in Barney Hoff's office...
It's important, Barney. The boys are getting out of hand. They want to start selling again. They ain't been paid in a couple of weeks.
Well, why not? Where's Steve? I give him the money for the payroll. Why don't he take it over there?
Steve ain't around, Barney.
He's got to be around. He's got the dough. I told him the boy's got to be paid. He knows that.
Come on, Barney, let's go.
No, wait a minute. I want to talk to that Steve. He's been acting too big for his britches lately. Talking big. Telling me I'm getting old, slipping. Well, you know what he said to me this morning? Said I should step down. Yeah, you can't trust a guy like that, Larry. All these years, I always needed a guy I could trust. It was always you, Larry. Larry would never cross me, I'd say. A guy you could trust. You wouldn't cross old Barney, would you?
Of course not. I'd never cross old Barney.
Atta boy, kid. Atta boy. Where we going, kid? Huh? Where we going? Me, I'd say. A guy you could trust. You wouldn't cross old Barney, would you?
Of course not. I'd never cross old Barney.
Atta boy, kid. Atta boy. Where we going, kid? Huh? Where we going? See out here, Frank, huh? You trying to commit suicide or something? Sid, Steve, take care of this punk. He's losing his head. Larry, where's Steve? Where are the boys? What's bothering you? You're one of my boys too, Frankie. Tell him he's nuts, Larry. Take the rod away from him. You wouldn't let him plug me, Larry. Give me a chance, kid. Tell me what it's all about. No. No.
Hold it! Hold it, all of you. Let go of that gun and get your hands in the air. You're under arrest.
What's the idea, copper? You don't think you got anything on us, do you?
All right, all of you, let's go.
Go where? You think you can make this rap stick? A little prohibition violation? Why, I'll quash the indictment just like that.
Come on, Hoff.
Oh. Get him a bright, new, shiny revenue man. Don't worry about a thing, boys. I'll get you out of this. I'll call my mouthpiece as soon as I get down to headquarters, and they'll have a writ drawn in 20 minutes, just like the last time.
This is a little different, Hoff.
Oh, yeah? You don't know who you're talking to, Sonny. This prohibition law's a joke. I'll lay you 50 to 1. You don't ever take me to court.
In one way, Barney Hoff was right. Based on the recommendation of a board of psychiatrists, the court declared him insane, and he was never actually brought to trial for the murder of Steve Lodi. However, he was committed to a state institution for the criminally insane, and within a year after his interment, he died of paresis, the disease which had affected his mind. As for the other members of his organization, Larry Minorca and Frank White were convicted by the state of Michigan for complicity in the murder of Steve Lodi. And some 14 other members of the gang were convicted in a federal court for the manufacture and sale of illicit liquor and were sentenced to long terms in a federal penitentiary.